Hello and welcome to K News. This is Hardik Trivedi. Let's have a look on what is happening in India and in the world. Democratic presidential candidate and former US Vice President Joe Biden has said that he will lift the temporary suspension on H-1B visas, the most sought after by Indian IT professionals, if he wins the November presidential elections. On June 23, in a huge blow to Indian IT professionals eyeing the US job market, the Trump administration suspended the H-1B visas along with the other types of foreign work visas until the end of 2020 to protect American workers in a crucial election year. Biden, in a digital town meeting on Asian American and Pacific Islander issue organized by NBC, praised the contribution of H-1B visa holders. US President Donald Trump just ended H-1B visas the rest of this year. That will not be in my administration, Biden said, responding to a question during the town hall. The people on the company visa have built this country, Biden said when asked what his administration will do in the first 100 days of his presidency. On day one, I am going to send the legislative immigration reform bill to Congress to provide a roadmap to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants who contribute so much to this country, including 1.7 million from the AAPI community. He alleged that the Trump administration policies are cruel and inhumane. The former vice president also said that he will rescind Muslim travel ban and immediately restore refugee admission in line with the values and historic leadership of the United States. Biden also told town hall participants that he will make it easier for qualified green card holders to move through its backlog. The US every year allocates only 140,000 green cards for all employment preference immigrants, including accompanying family members. The Shivraj Singh Chauhan-led Madhya Pradesh cabinet was expanded on Thursday with induction of 28 ministers, including a dozen loyalists of Jyotiraditya Scindia, who exit from the Congress in March, led to the fall of the 15-month-old Kamal Nath-led regime in the state. Governor Anandiben Patel administered the oath of office to the ministers at Raj Bhavan. COVID-19 protocols were followed at the ceremony. The new ministers include 20 of cabinet rank and 8 ministers of state. The Chauhan ministry strength is now 34. Chauhan took oath as chief minister for a record 4th term on March 23, after Nath resigned from the post following rebellion by 22 MLAs of the Congress. This is the second expansion of the Chauhan cabinet. The first one was on April 21, where 5 ministers, including 2 former Congress MLAs close to Scindia, Tulsi Silawat and Govind Singh Rajput, were inducted. The Chauhan cabinet still has 1 vacancy, as the ministry's strength, depending on the size of the house, should not exceed 35 as per constitutional norms. Former BJP ministers, including Gopal Bhargava, Vijay Shah, Jagdish Devda, Yashodhara Rajesh Scindia, Bhupendra Singh, Brajendra Pratap Singh and Vishwas Sarang were among those inducted in Thursday's expansion. From Jyotiraditya Scindia camp, Bishaulal Singh, Aidal Singh, Kansara, Imarti Devi, Prabhuram Chaudhary, Mahendra Singh Sisodia, Pradyuman Singh Tomar, Hardeep Singh Dang, Rajyavardhan Singh were inducted as cabinet ministers, while Brajendra Singh Yadav, Giriraj Dantodia, Suresh Dhakad and OPS Bhadoria were sworn in as Ministers of State. From BJP, Prem Singh Patel, Om Prakash Saklecha, Usha Thakur, Arvind Bhadoria and Mohan Yadav were inducted as Cabinet Ministers, while Bharat Singh Kushwaha, Inder Singh Parmar, Ram Lekhavan Patel and Ram Kishore Kaure took oath as Minister of State. Those inducted from the Scindia camp are not MLAs as they resigned from the assembly in March, leading to fall of the 15-month-old Congress government led by Kamal Nath. They will be contesting the assembly by polls. There are 24 assembly seats vacant in the state. Chauhan, Scindia and Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar were among those present at the Raj Bhavan ceremony. Delhi's first plasma bank to help treat novel coronavirus started functioning on Thursday, with Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal saying that COVID-19 patients can donate their plasma 14 days after recovery. Addressing on online media briefing, the Chief Minister issued numbers 1031 and 8800007722, where people can contact for donation of plasma to save the lives of COVID-19 patients. The government has set up the plasma bank at the state-run Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences. Kejriwal hoped that COVID-19 deaths will decrease due to the plasma therapy. Those aged between 18 and 60 and weighing not less than 50 kilograms can donate their plasma for COVID-19 patients. Plasma therapy involves taking antibodies from the blood of a person who has recovered from COVID-19 and transfusing those into a coronavirus infected patient to help kickstart the immune system to fight the infection. 4 Tamil Nadu policemen have been arrested in the custodial deaths of 2 men in the town of Tuticorin. A father and son allegedly tortured by cops after keeping their shop open 15 minutes longer than allowed amid the COVID lockdown. Inspector Sridhar, Sub-Inspectors Raghu Ganesh and Balakrishnan and Constable Murugan have been arrested by the crime branch of Tamil Nadu's Criminal Investigation Department under relevant sections of the Indian Penal Code. FIRs have been altered to 302 IPC. 12 special teams under IG and SP are investigating all angles, Shankar Inspector General told. The CBCID has modified both FIRs, one each for the deaths of the father Jairaj and the son Banix, and 2 include murder charges against 2 sub-inspectors Raghu Ganesh and Balakrishnan, 2 constables and 2 other individuals. The police had earlier only registered cases of suspicious deaths. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, which conducted its own inquiry into the shocking incident, had asked the CBCID to take over the case from Tuticorin police until the CBI, to whom the case has been handed over, takes charge. On Tuesday, the court noted that based on post-mortem reports, there were grounds to charge the 3 policemen allegedly involved in the deaths with murder. The court was also told the CCTV footage that could provide through light on what happened at the Satakulam police station on June 19, when the 2 men were arrested and allegedly tortured, had been deleted. The court then initiated contempt against 3 cops, including a deputy superintendent and an additional deputy superintendent, after the judicial magistrate who conducted the inquiry accused them of trying to obstruct his inquiry. However, a key witness, a head constable, then testified to the brutal attack and the role of the police, fearing that Either the witness or the witness family could be intimidated. The court asked the police to provide security. The railways on Wednesday formally kick-started its plans to allow private entities to operate passenger trains on its network by inviting requests for qualifications for participation on 109 pairs of routes through 151 modern trains, the national transporter said. The project would entail a private sector investment of about 30,000 crore. This is the first initiative for private investment for running passenger trains on the Indian railway network. It began last year with the IRCTC introducing the Lucknow-Delhi Tejas Express. Currently, the IRCTC operates 3 trains, the Kashi-Mahakal Express on the Varanasi-Indore route, the Lucknow-New Delhi Tejas and Ahmedabad-Mumbai Tejas. The objective of this initiative is to introduce modern technology, rolling stock with reduced maintenance, reduce transit time, boost job creation, provide enhanced safety, and provide world-class travel experience to passengers, the railways said. The 109 origin-destination routes have been formed into 12 clusters across the Indian railway network. Each train shall have a minimum of 16 coaches. The railway also said that majority of these modern trains are to be manufactured in India as Make in India, and the private entity shall be responsible for financing, procuring, operating and maintaining the trains. Trains shall be designed for a maximum speed of 160 kilometers per hour. There would be a substantial reduction in journey time. The running time taken by a train shall be comparable to or faster than the fastest train of the Indian Railways operating in the respective route. These trains shall be operated by the driver and guard of Indian Railways. The operation of the trains by the private entity shall conform to the key performance indicators like punctuality, reliability, upkeep of trains, etc. The railway said. It's time for a short break. We'll join you in a short while.
వేసవి అవుతుంది ఫన్ విత్ కూలర్ నంబర్ 1 ఇక చేసుకో మోర్ ఫన్ ఉంటే కూలర్ నంబర్ 1 ఇక డోంట్ రన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద సన్ ఉంటే కెన్స్టా నంబర్ 1
पहली नजर हो गया मैं दीवाना 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 इतना सुंदर जैसे कोई सपना सुहाना मैं दीवाना दीवाना
खजाना टाइम्स, जो देखे वो दीवाना।
Welcome back to K News and thank you for watching. Let's continue the streak of news. A case has been registered against G. Venkatakrishna Reddy, the chairman of the GVK Group of Companies and the Mumbai International Airport Limited, for alleged irregularities to the tune of Rs 805 crore, sources told. The case filed by the CBI also names officials of the Airport Authority of India and 9 other private companies. All have been accused of causing wrongful gain of over 805 crore to themselves and causing a loss to the public exchequer between 2012 and 2018, reads the FIR. According to the FIR, a joint venture company named Mumbai International Airport Limited or MIAL was formed by GVK Airport Holdings Limited, Airport Authority India, and few other foreign entities. The GVK owned 50.5% of the shares and 26% with AAI. GVK Reddy is the chairman of MIAL, and GV Sanjay Reddy, who has also been named in the FIR, is the managing director of MIAL. The agreement signed between AAI and MIAL in 2006 stipulates that MIAL shall run the Mumbai airport and they will have to share 38.7% of their revenue with the AAI as annual fees. The rest will be used for the modernization, operation and maintenance of the airport. In its FIR, the premier investigating agency alleged that the accused had siphoned off rupees 310 crore by showing execution of bogus work contracts with 9 other private companies. Most of this was said to be real estate development in the 200-acre undeveloped land parcel around the Mumbai airport between 2017 and 18, the agency contended. The agency also alleged that the promoters of the GVK group of companies with criminal intention to cause loss to AAI used the surplus funds of MIAL to the tune of 395 crore to finance their other group of companies between 2012 and 2018. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has said India's surprise move to ban 59 Chinese applications days after a violent face-off between India and Chinese soldiers in eastern Ladakh was a digital strike. We banned Chinese applications to protect the data of our countrymen. It was a digital strike, Mr. Prasad said at a BJP rally in West Bengal today. Now you can hear about only 2 C's, coronavirus and China. We believe in peace and solve problems through discussions. But if somebody casts an evil eye on India, we will give a befitting reply. If our 20 Jawans have sacrificed their lives, then the toll is double on the Chinese side. You all must have noticed that they have not come out with any figure. The Law of Communications, Electronics and Information Technology Minister said, echoing a similar statement that Prime Minister Narendra Modi made last week on the India-China border tension. A section of the media had called India's move to ban the Chinese apps, including the widely popular TikTok, a digital airstrike, in allusion to India bombing a camp of the terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed in Pakistan's Balakot in February last year. India was TikTok's top market, accounting for 30% of its 2 billion downloads worldwide. TikTok parent ByteDance had laid out plans to invest $1 billion in India and had hired several senior executives since 2019. The rest 58 applications with Chinese links blocked by the government include WeChat and UC browser. The Indian government's TikTok account MyGov, which had 1.1 million followers, had been disabled. Sina Weibo, China's answer to Twitter, has deleted PM Modi's account at the request of the Indian embassy. India's surprise move has affected Chinese tech firms at a time when they are starting to make inroads into the country's vast market, where mobile phones usage is high and data is relatively cheaper compared to other nations. Myanmar, China's closest ally in Southeast Asia, has pointed fingers at Beijing for arming insurgent groups with sophisticated weapons and sought international cooperation to suppress rebel groups. In a recent interview to Russian state-run TV channel, Myanmar's Senior General Minong Helang said terrorist organizations active in Myanmar are backed by strong forces and sought international cooperation to suppress rebel groups. The reference to strong forces was widely seen to be a reference to Myanmar's neighbor in the north, China. Myanmar military spokesperson Brigadier General Zaw Min Tun later elaborated on the comment made by the Commander-in-Chief of Myanmar's armed forces. The spokesperson said the army chief was referring to Arakan Army and Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, terrorist organizations active in the Rakhine state in western Myanmar that borders China. A foreign country is behind the Arakan Army, he said, citing China-made weapons that terror group used in mine attacks on the military in 2019. It is unusual for the Myanmar leadership to point fingers at China, but this is not the first time that Naypyidaw has alleged the Chinese connection. When the Myanmar military busted a huge cache of weapons, including surface-to-air missiles, each costing between $70,000 and $90,000 from the banned Talang National Liberation Army in November 2019. The military had underlined the Chinese connection to the weapons. Most of the weapons seized by the force are Chinese weapons. Military spokesperson Major General Tun Tun Nyai had declared the Myanmarese ethnic rebel groups operating along the Chinese border mostly use Chinese weapons, prompting suspicions about Beijing's role as part of an effort to keep Myanmar under control. China, for the record, denies that it supplies weapons to armed rebel groups in Myanmar, but such denials are often treated with skepticism in Myanmar. Senior General Helang had flagged Myanmar's concerns around these weapons when he hosted Chinese President Xi Jinping in January this year. She has promised that China would carefully scrutinize and solve the problem, pointing that there were other ways for the rebels to acquire Chinese weapons. Private schools in Delhi are free to charge annual and development charges beside tuition fee from July, since lockdown is over now. A body representing 400 unaided schools has written to the Delhi government. The Directorate of Education, however, has clarified that an order issued on April 18 barring private schools of charging any other component except tuition fee till lockdown is in effect is still in force. Our April 18 order is still valid. The government has not lifted the lockdown completely as of now. There has been some relaxation and the schools do not fall under that ambit. The schools cannot charge anything other than the tuition fee, said Binay Bhushan, director of the DOE. The Delhi government had announced on June 26 that all schools will stay closed until July 31. In its letter to the government on June 25, the Action Committee of Unaided Recognized Private Schools, an umbrella body of 400 schools, said private institutions are finding it difficult to pay salaries of teachers and other staff and managing expenses such as maintenance of buildings and transport. Your order clearly mentions that this restriction imposed by the government is a temporary phase and the same shall be withdrawn once the lockdown period is withdrawn. Now, since the lockdown is officially withdrawn by both the central government as well as by the government of Delhi and city, and the process of unlocking has started, the schools, in accordance with the order, are free to charge annual fees and development charges on pro rata basis effective from July 2020, said S.K. Bhattacharya, president of the committee, in the letter. The center on Monday issued guidelines for the second of a three-phase plan aimed at lifting restrictions imposed to stop the spread of the coronavirus disease. The fresh guidelines said schools, colleges and coaching institutions will remain closed till July 31. As per the April 18 order of the Delhi government, annual and development charges can be charged from parents on a pro rata basis. On a monthly basis after the completion of the lockdown, the order added that school can only charge a tuition fee. The annual fee is a sum school charge parents over the above the tuition fee, while the majority of schools charge it once a year. Some take the payment half yearly or quarterly. Payments on Unified Payments Interface (UPI) in June hit an all-time high of 1.34 billion in terms of volume, with transactions worth nearly rupees 2.62 lakh crore, as per National Payments Corporation of India data. On a month-on-month basis, it registered 8.94% growth from 1.23 billion in May. UPI payments had fell 999.57 million in terms of volume, with transactions worth rupees 1.51 lakh crore, following the coronavirus-induced lockdown that halted almost all services except essentials. Online payments slowly gathered pace from May, with staggered opening of the economy. In May, the number of UPI transactions stood at 1.23 billion, valued at rupees 2.18 lakh crore, shows the NPCI data. In June, the volume in terms of transactions touched the highest level so far, as per the data available, with the first set of data dating back to April 2016 with nil transaction. The number of transactions through all the available means of NPCI platform were in upwards of 1 billion since October 2019, before dipping to 999 million in April this year. However, it soon regained the 1 billion plus transaction volume in May. NPCI was incorporated in 2008 as an umbrella organization for operating retail payments and settlement systems in India. It has created a robust payment and settlement infrastructure in the country. It facilitates payments through a bouquet of retail payment products such as RuPay card, immediate payment services, UPI, Bharat Interface for Money, Bheem Aadhaar, National Electronic Toll Collection, and Bharat Bill Pay. NPCI also launched UPI 2 to offer more secure and comprehensive services to customers and merchants. That's all for now. Keep watching K News. This is Hardik Trivedi taking your leave. Be alert, be positive, be safe.